Right. Yeah, like when my generation, like from my neighborhood, from Artesia, we had different cliques. So we had the midget locals, we had the peewee locals, the 190s and Devlin Street. I was from Devlin Street. And so like when my dad used to take me around, I was a little boy, man, and he used to introduce me to these guys. I didn't know too much about anybody or anything, and but little by little, when I got jumped in to Artesia, I started to learn more about the neighborhood, and who was there and who was who. And out of respect for my dad, everybody would kind of just tell him everything that I was doing and stuff like that. And because when I got jumped in at Artesia Park, and I was like, man, I can remember I was like 10 years old, 9, 10 years old, and um, my dad was there counting the watch, and I remember the older homeboys that jumped me in, they were like 19, 20 years old, you know what I mean? 18. And my dad was like, I remember my dad even stopped the watch, man, and he said, you know what, stop, because I was a skinny little kid and I fell down, and I remember he picked me up and he goes, you get up and you fight, you fight back, and after that, man, he picked me up, and my dad is the one that named me, and he called me boy, because I was one of the smallest youngsters from the neighborhood. You know what I mean? And all these other guys, like the OGs and stuff. I didn't really know a lot of them. I just knew that when I grew up, like and meeting them, and a lot of them, went off to go, do time and stuff like that. But my generation, it was me running the streets right there on Devlin Street, the 190s, just a lot of a lot of drama, man, a lot of I wasn't just one of those ones that were hanging up, holding up the wall, spray painting or nothing like that, man. It was a really wicked, evil life, man, lifestyle, and it was a lot of lessons to be learned,
Yeah,
yeah, it was rough, man. It was rough.
yeah, yeah. And I know, man, some of the neighborhoods that are around you guys, I know you guys had some wars, and what's cool is you're not that no more. So we're not glorifying that life as we talk. You know,
Right, right.
we're talking about, and even those older guys, some of those older guys that, are very well known, and, we're just, it's cool, man. Juvenile hall. How'd you start getting busted?
Man, juvenile hall, man, it was I was already deep into the gang life, man. And I think my first time at juvenile hall, I got busted for attempted murder. I was 12 years old. I went into Los Padrinos, not knowing really like anything. I didn't know the system. I was a youngster, and long and behold, I had to go in there for my first time for attempted murder. You know what I mean? And from that point on, like I started to learn the ropes. I started to learn the system. You know what I mean? And I was just, as I went along, my dad at that time, was already busted. I think he got 14 years. Um, to I think he did, out of the whole term, he did 14 years in prison, and but at that time he was already busted. So he was up there in courtroom with Manson, Charles Manson, level 4, you know what I mean? And so when I got busted in juvenile hall for the first time, my grandparents used to come see me, then they used to go see him, you know what I mean? And it was kind of like a pattern, but I can say this, man, that my grandparents, man, rain or shine, bro, they were there, man. Wherever I went, Los Padrinos, Central, Silmar, Challenger, Lancaster, wherever it was, man, they were in that line, bro, every Saturday to see me, bro. No matter what, grandma loved me, bro. And that was an unconditional love because she had the love of God in her, man, always praying for us, always believing in us, never giving up, never closing her doors to us, bro. You know what I mean? And that
Man, that's
that was
beautiful.
that was unconditional, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
in fact, Mike, in the times I was doing time, my grandmother would do the same. She only spoke Spanish, and she would come and visit me and and read Psalms in Spanish. I didn't even know what she was saying, but you know, the prayers work, bro.
Yep. Yep. Yeah,
So
bro.
let me
Definitely.
ask you, when you went into juvenile hall, like, was it on in there? Were you guys fighting? Was there other, was there gang beefs inside? How was it in juvenile hall and as you're going to the county and stuff?
In Los Padrinos, I could say this. There was just a lot of you could say like game playing. You know what I mean? Mind games. You know, now with the juvenile hall, as we all know, it's just the gang. With your enemies. You know what I mean? But so with the Hawaiian Gardens or Norwalk, those were a lot of our enemies at the time, and so if we see, in juvenile hall, if you see your enemy, you got to get busy, you got to get down. You know what I mean? And I remember when there was a time where I was going from juvenile hall to Camp Miller. I was going up to Camp Miller, and we're shackled in the bus, and we're taking the ride, and there's always instigators. You know what I mean? There's always the instigators, and they knew I was from Artesia. And this one youngster, he's telling me, "Hey, we're gonna get to the camp, and there's three bottles from Norwalk there. You know what I mean? They're gonna roll you up or whatever." And I was just quiet, man. I didn't feed into it. So when we got there, um, sure enough, man, there was three big old dudes from Norwalk, and I'm a skinny kid. I was skinny at the time. They kind of, and so, but I remember, man, I got to the camp, and then one was serving the food, and he gave me like a little bit of food, man, in my plate. You know what I mean? He's like, Barrio Norwalk. I told him Artesia. And then when that same day, that was my first day in camp, and then the other Vato for Norwalk gave me the shower roll with my shirt and my drawers and everything. And so I opened it up, and he goes, Vato Norwalk, same thing, and I told him Artesia. So I opened up the roll, and the whole shirt was ripped. You know what I mean? And so there was three dudes, man. There was three of them, man. And I told this guy from 18th Street, man. I said, you know what? One of the vatos from Norwalk was a laundry boy. He worked in the laundry. So I said, man, you know what? I gotta get busy with all three of them, bro. You know what I mean? I gotta get down. So I told the vato from Norwalk, I said, let's set it up, bro. We're running the laundry room, and let's get busy. All three of you guys with me. Let's do it now. You know what I mean? So if you didn't do that, then basically, that was still, that it would just be tension all the way around. You know what I mean? And even though like we didn't get along, man, after that there was a little bit of respect. You know what I mean? And um in camp there's different, there's laundry, there's like people working in the office. So by the end of the time, I did a year there. By the end of the time that I got out, I was basically in charge of all the mail. You know what I mean? So even though me and that vato, there was one more vato from Norwalk after 9 months or whatever, he was giving me brand new clothes, and I was hooking him up with his mail. You know what I mean? Because if I didn't get taken care of, he wasn't gonna get his mail. You know what I mean? So once again, it's just it's a mind game, it's a respect game, and that's just that goes for juvies, camps, YA, or whatever. You know what I mean? But in the county, it's a whole different ball game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So tell us about graduating to the county and what got you there, and then what were your thoughts going in there? I know your dad had probably already trained you, but what was your thoughts?
Man, it was in juvenile hall, um it was different. Being locked up in that room, in juvenile hall, there was no bars, there was just a little tiny window. I spent a lot of time in those rooms, man. And I remember even I was up in Lancaster, and um I wasn't feeling good, man. I felt sick, and I would tell the staff, and I was like, "Hey, man, I'm sick. Something's wrong with me." They didn't care. They didn't believe me. They were giving me Pepto and all that. So basically, one day, man, we came out for line movement, and I fell out, man. I passed out, And next thing you know, man, I woke up at High Desert Hospital in Lancaster, handcuffed to the bed, and they're telling me we got to get you in surgery right away. Your appendix ruptured. You know what I mean? So the poison from the appendix was going through my body already. I almost died.